Now, having done and discussed and understood how we're going to be organizing the data, let's talk a little bit about data collection, the actual process of how to go about collecting the data. As I've already said, any category that you're going to be trying to understand in great detail, you're going to have an overwhelming amount of data, and the challenge is going to be how to go about doing this in a way which makes sense and which is easy to comprehend and do. So the process that has worked for me is to collect data brand by brand, one brand at a time. And before you start thinking, oh my God, how many brands are there in a category, and how do I do all these brands? Let me put your mind at ease. What we need to do is to identify the top 10 brands in the category. And more likely than not, unless the category is extremely fragmented, these top 10 brands will comprise 75 to 80% of the category sales. And this is where you need to focus. As far as the smaller niche regional brands are concerned, you can ignore them at this point in time. Once we have reviewed the big brands and gained an understanding as to how the category is constructed, then we can come back and revisit these small niche regional brands and see if these guys are actually differentiated and have a meaningful position in the category, which would then warrant that we study these brands and understand these brands, or they are small for a reason, which is that they are just me too brands not offering anything unique to the consumer. So now that you know what are the shortlisted brands, the 10-15 brands that you have shortlisted, you need to map out their portfolio one by one, product by product, using the 4P framework that we had just looked at. The good thing is, in today's day and age, with so much information available online, that you can actually do this in the comfort of your office, in front of a laptop, coupled with just a few visits to the stores, just to physically touch and see these products and gain some more information, especially when it comes to elements like pricing or displays and promotions that would have been done in channels besides e-commerce. So what are they doing in modern trade? What are they doing in traditional trade? So once you have worked through this process and collected the data for the top brands in the category, what you will have now is a huge repository, a huge database of information where brand by brand, by product, you have detailed information on all the 4P elements and are now in a position to make sense of this data and all this information that you have collected. So how do you do with that? How do we do that? So let me talk about that next. So now we're going to talk about data synthesis. This is the favorite part of this entire process as far as I'm concerned. I'm a data junkie. So I love trying to make sense out of data that we have. How do we convert data into information? So the first thing that we will try to do is study the data that we have by each of the 4P elements standalone and see how we can bucket them. How can we group this information in various buckets? A few examples just to bring this point home. So if you have all this data by the product ingredients, how can you club that? If you were to take the example of floor cleaners, fragrance is a big ingredient there. It is the second most important ingredient as far as floor cleaner is concerned after the actual disinfectant, which gets the job done. So the different ingredients that are there in the market, can you club them into buckets? So fresh and floral obviously are huge buckets in this category. Fresh being lemon, the citrus flavors, fragrances, apologies, and then floral, rose, jasmine, mogra, etc. So can you club the different products out there basis these two buckets as far as fragrance is concerned, or is there a new fragrance bucket out there which is gaining popularity? Similarly, if you were to look at hair care products out there, can you club them basis natural ingredients that are there? So argan, aloe vera, amla are the ones that come to mind. These are the big ones. Or is there a new ingredient which is gaining popularity? Looking at product benefits, sticking with hair care here. So for example, shampoos. So shampoos, can you bucket them into the big buckets that are already there? Hair fall, anti-dandruff, anti-thinning, anti-lice, shiny hair. and the big buckets, or is there a new bucket, maybe a new bucket that has has come up in the category? So just club all the shampoos, all the hair care products basis these big benefit buckets. Looking at pricing, talking about pricing, obviously, see how the different brands, how the different products fit in at the different levels in the price pyramid that we had talked about a few slides ago. There are going to be some brands which only operate at one level on the price pyramid, and some that straddle across multiple price points. So obviously, we had talked about Surface as an example, which of a brand which straddles multiple price points. And then the last is channel. So as you're studying the category, you're going to see SKUs in the channel basis the different the channels that we talked about. Some are going to be, is it e-commerce heavy? Is it one of the categories which has adopted to e-commerce or taken to e-commerce a lot faster, a lot bigger than the other categories? And how does the sales split between the e-commerce platforms, the modern trade, the traditional trade? And similarly, you will have SKUs in the category and the brands basis the regions and town classes in which to sell. So this was the first level of data analysis of data organization on each of the 4P elements on a standalone basis. Moving along, what we're going to talk about is how can we combine the data across different 4P elements. So having organized the data on each of the 4P elements standalone, what we are going to try to do next, or what we need to try to do next, is combine the data across the 4P elements, taking a few examples again to illustrate the point. So in the bath soap segment, you have Lifebuoy, which is a popular priced antibacterial soap. So here you're talking about its place on the price pyramid as well as the benefit that it provides. Look at Dettol as an example. Dettol is also an antibacterial soap, so providing the same benefit as Lifebuoy, but it is placed differently as far as the price pyramid is concerned. It is a more premium price product than Lifebuoy. Looking at skincare products, so you have Patanjali, which is a popular priced natural brand. Kama Ayurved is also a natural brand, but priced much, much more premium than Patanjali is. And then you have brands like Mama Earth and Wow Sciences, which are also natural, but at a price which is in between Kama and Patanjali. So on and so forth. So what we'll keep doing is adding more and more 4P elements, clubbing more and more 4P elements. I'll just take the last skincare example, highlight the point. So Patanjali is a popular priced natural brand selling in modern trade, traditional trade, and own stores, both across urban and rural centers. Whereas Kama Ayurved is a premium natural brand which is selling primarily online and in its own stores, through its own stores. And then you have Mama Earth, which is priced between the two brands, is a semi-premium price brand which sells primarily online with very limited offline presence. So as you do this, this is an iterative process. You keep on doing this. And once you have completed this process, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how the category is constructed. You will actually have an n-dimensional graph with all the 4P elements and the sub-elements as the different axes. Or obviously, you will have multiple two-dimensional graphs where you're going to be taking the information bit by bit and looking at how the different brands and different products plot on a two-dimensional graph with multiple 4P elements as the axes. So once you have built this comprehensive understanding of the category and you have an understanding as to the size, the growth of the different segments and what are the gaps in the segment, you will at this point in time start getting early indications as to what is a sweet spot for the new brand in terms of the different 4P elements. So what is going to be the benefit and ingredient story there for the product? What will be the pricing of this product? Where will it fit on the price pyramid? Will it be a mass product, a popular price product, a premium, or a luxury product? And then how would you be promoting this brand in the most effective, cost-efficient way, and using what vehicles and tactics? And all of this will obviously also help you understand where will this product be selling the most, which are the channels, which are the geographies, which are the town classes that you need to focus your energies on, or where the maximum opportunity is for this new brand that you're looking to launch. Having talked about all this, we are getting an early indication as to what the sweet spot is, but we are not 100% ready to lock this down yet. To do that, we need to do step number 3, which is understanding the consumer.